Hey, this is Mike. Thank you so much for choosing this video. Today I'm in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, visiting East Coast Honda, and I'm checking out a 2018 Honda Accord Hybrid. Now this one is in the touring trim level, so it has lots of cool features to show off, so let's go ahead and get started. This Accord is sitting on 225/50 Michelin tires, wrapped around 17-inch alloy wheels. It also has four-wheel disc brakes with ventilated disc rotors in the front and solid disc rotors in the back. The name of this color is White Orchid Pearl, and the sun is actually shining right now, so you can see pearl coat. Hopefully it's not just a normal white. Okay, so here in the front you have that chrome accent across the very front, thicker in the middle with the big Honda emblem. It just kind of accents the width of the front of the vehicle to me. And then the grille is mostly a gloss black, even up around the bezels of the headlights. It has parking sensors across the front. It also has a radar Honda sensing right here. Now it's kind of exposed, I guess you can say. It's not behind any kind of grill or anything. That's for the adaptive cruise control. Now the headlights are all LED here in the front. All the lighting is a LED here in the front of the vehicle. Turn signals, daytime running lights, headlights, and your fog lights are all LEDs. So the headlights are a 9 reflector LED system where you have the outer LEDs turn on for your low beams, and then all of them turn on for your high beams. And you have a daytime running light underscoring it with a turn signal right above it in like a bar fashion. The fog lights are in 4 projector beams in LEDs as well. For me, the white color accents the design of the vehicle a little bit better than other colors, because right in here you can see that black swoops down, and this is kind of goes a little bit more unnoticed, especially in the other black color. So with that contrast here, you can actually see it better. I don't know exactly why, but hybrids are associated with the color blue. So you can see the hybrid name here in blue. And the headlights, they're not actually blue headlights, but you can see a little bit of, hopefully you can see that, blue hue reflecting off the reflectors with the headlights off. The reason why is because the top portion, right up in here, is blue. So it just gives a little bit of a blue accent when looking at the headlights. I thought that was pretty interesting. So looking at the profile of the vehicle, you can see that it has the white handles with the chrome there on top. You have a chrome accent right down here, swooping down, just a slight strip. Also, you have it on top of the windows, right in here. The rest of it is, the pillars are in a gloss black, so if you actually get your windows tinted, it'll blend in as one solid, look like one solid pane or one solid piece. The top of the side mirrors are also body colored. The bottom portion is black, in a matte black. This is what the key looks like. It's a proximity key designed to where you can just keep it in your pocket or a bag, and as long as it's with you, you can use the vehicle 100%. Now it looks just about like any other Honda key that they've had for several years now. This one has the blue back, and it says driver 1, letting you know that you know which driver it is, because it does have the ability to save, say, presets on your seats and things like that. So when you get in with this key, it'll go to those presets. It also has a physical key on the inside, lock and unlock button, open up the trunk, the ability to open up the trunk, remote start, and a panic button. So let's go ahead and push that panic button and see what happens. Loud horn. As long as you have the key with you, it can be in your pocket, in a bag. As long as it's within a close proximity of this outside of either front door, you can lock it by placing your finger over the sensor. You can see it's indicated by these 3 little lines here. This locks the door. To unlock it, simply put your hand behind the handle. It senses your hand position and allows you access to the vehicle. Here's the inside of the passenger door. You see it's two colors there, like a beige, tan, and black. It also has a really impressive synthetic wood grain right here. It looks like they did a really good job on the wood grain. You can't feel any wood grain, any texture to it, but it looks like you just reach out and feel the wood grain. It looks really good. Soft touch features are here, so that's soft touch. Here, this area, and here on your arm. So it's around your arm. Also, when you put your arm up here, it'll be soft as well. This is like a synthetic Nerf type material. Down here is kind of like a vinyl type material. And there's a pocket here, as well as down here. Bottle holder and all. Two speakers here on the door, a little tweeter in the pillar, and a larger speaker on the very bottom. Also, I want to point out the way the handle is designed right here, kind of swoops down, and then they continue with that same metallic accent below the wood grain. So that way it gives it one continuous look and blends in the handle. Really like that. Power seat here for the passenger, goes forward and back, not up and down, and then it tilts the back. Leather trim seats, which are ventilated and heated. They have the stitching here on the edge and the perforations there in the center portion. And check out the legroom. I'm going to put all the volumes and measurements in the description so you can read all that. But check it out, it's just wide open here. It doesn't really taper at all until you get at the very end, down in this area. And the bottom, this is a carpet mat, and the bottom of it's kind of like a Velcro material, so it doesn't slide around very easy. So it has a soft touch dash. You have more of that wood grain. And then you have the hard plastics here. Locking glove compartment. Check it out. Smooth plastic on the inside. Also, you can lock the trunk. There's a button over here. So that way you can deny access to anybody driving the vehicle, like a valet person, from accessing the trunk. The inside of the back door is very similar to the front as far as the style. Now it has the wood grain with the handle that blends in, just like the front, and storage space there at the bottom, and then the pocket there. Now this portion is hard plastic, and then you have your soft touch here and here. Now the back seat is basically a bench seat, and it does give you the ability to fold down the seats in a 60-40 split fashion to add to your cargo space. This armrest has some cup holders, and they flip up out of the way in case you need a center passenger. It has the latch system for car seats as well. And there's a pocket on the back of both front seats. And climate control vents there. It does have a significant hump here in the center portion, so center passenger would have to deal with that. But the legroom is otherwise very well. Even with the seat all the way back, it still has significant legroom. And like I said, I'll have all the specs in the description so you can look all that up. Okay, so looking at the back of the vehicle, at the very top it has a body colored little shark fin antenna here. Your third brake light is right at the bottom of the rear glass. The backup camera is a little bit offset right over here. Has the parking sensors across the back. Now the tail lights are a combination of LED and standard bulbs. You can see the backup cameras right here. A little bit offset, and I'll show you what it looks like when we get in the vehicle. The exhaust is kind of hidden over here, under there, but you notice it has these little chrome pieces on both sides. To open the trunk, you can of course use the key, or you can push a button under here, and it pops up to about that point automatically. It doesn't take much effort at all to lift it up, and it goes like so. Now you'll notice it goes over the glass quite a ways, so that way it gets out of your way as much as possible. And this is the trunk space, which I think is great. So this one has the cargo mat in place. I highly recommend that. You have a little hanger there. You can also put a cargo net back here if you like. You see what the carpet looks like without the cargo mat. You do have some exposed speakers under here with wires. You can see the subwoofer. Pretty sure this is a 10 speaker system. Let's lift this up and check out it actually doesn't have a spare tire. It has a tire inflator kit and some more storage space under here. Now lowering the back seats, you can see it's a 60-40 split, and it splits right here. To add to your cargo space, you can fold down one or the other or both, and you do that by pulling these levers here. Now the reason why they're here, not in the other side, is that way that button in the glove compartment allows you to lock the trunk, and so if the levers were in the back seat area, then anybody could just, fold the back seats down and access your trunk. This way, they have to have access to the electronic portion and open up the trunk space here in order to get to the trunk space to begin with. The blind spot indicators are here in the side mirrors on both sides. This will light up and let you know if there's a vehicle in your blind spot on the appropriate side. It also serves as your rear cross traffic alert, so if you're backing out of a parking space, it will let you know if there's a vehicle coming from either side as well. Now the fuel door is here on the driver's side, which is very convenient, and as long as the vehicle's locked, it's locked as well. All you have to do is unlock the vehicle, automatically unlocks the fuel door and gives you access. Now it is a capless design. You don't have to get your hands dirty or make sure the cap's tight enough or anything like that. It makes it very simple to pump the gas. Now it has this seal, basically seals it up, but it is a double door here, so it's not easy for things to get into your gas tank unless you have the appropriate nozzle. So let's go ahead and start it up. So you can see everything's blank here. It's pretty neat. To start it up, as long as the key's inside the vehicle, you can put your foot on the brake, hold it, and push this button right here. Now, since it's a hybrid vehicle, the engine may or may not turn on, so you may be able to just drive with the electric power. Now you can see it says ready right there, so if you don't hear the engine running, you're still able to drive as long as it says ready. Here's the floorboard in front of the driver's seat. There's your accelerator and brake pedal. Really large footrest there on the left side. So let's go ahead and take a look under the hood. To lift the hood up, there's a latch here in the very center. Right in here, you just move it to the left and lift the hood up. You can see the latch right there. Now it does require a prop to hold it up. Here's the prop, and there's actually two places to put it. You can put it right here where the arrow is pointing, letting you know where to put it, or you can be a rebel and put it down here in this secret spot, which will lift the hood much higher than normal, like this. So now, hey, the engine just started. So now we can have access to check everything out. See, this is the normal spot, which will lower the hood quite a bit. You can see that there's a seal across the top right here. You also have seals on the side, in the back, and here in the front when the hood closes. So it's pretty much sealed up pretty good. You also have an insulated firewall. The strut towers are braced into the unibody structure of the vehicle. This is the ACE body structure for safety. And you can see these towers bend down like so. So if you were to get in a collision, they're already in a angle, so they'll crumple better instead of a straight line. So that kind of thing with the ACE body structure. So it's a 2.0 liter 4-cylinder engine, iVTEC. And of course, since it's a hybrid, it has an electric drive as well. And the exhaust is here in the front, and the intake is there in the back. I'll put all the specifications of the horsepower, torque, and everything, especially with the split with the hybrid drive as well, in the description, and a lot more details there. There's the battery. It's easy to get to, and it's also insulated. The inside of the driver's side door is just like the passenger side, except for it has a few more buttons. So you have your power window controls here. Front two are automatic, one touch down and one touch up. Now the glass here in the front is a laminated glass with an acoustic material there in the center portion. So it keeps the outside noises from vibrating its way through into the inside of the vehicle. Also, it gives it a more sturdy glass. Door locks are here. Your side mirrors are adjusted with this pad. You just pick a side. And right in here is your presets for your power seat and the ability to open up the trunk here as well. Now the driver's seat is powered just like the passenger, except for you can go up, down, you can tilt the seat, tilt it this way, make the whole seat go up and down as well, like a dentist chair. You also have a 4-way lumbar adjustment as well. So it's a lot more adjustments than the passenger side. Now both of them are heated and cooled, like I mentioned. To the left of the steering column, you have your parking sensors. You can turn off or on here. See, it has a little indicator there. This is for your safety sense. You can access the features of that by pushing this button. On the screen, it'll pop up. Your traction control, you can turn off here. You can adjust your heads-up display right here, reset your trip, and then your interior brightness of your interior gauges you can adjust here. It also has a tilt and telescoping steering column. The lever is to the left of the steering column. That's easy to find and use. You just pull it down, unlock it, get it right where you want it, and then you lock it back in place. The heads-up display mainly shows the speed, and you can adjust it, turn it on or off, move it up and down. You can also adjust the brightness, but you can also add some information there on the side. So pushing a button here on the steering wheel, you have your lane keeping assist, a compass, also your speed limit will show up right here. Right now I'm not on a particular road, and the power, as far as, you know, keeping it in a eco range right there. And you push the button again, it goes back to just your speedometer. Okay, sitting in the driver's seat, checking it out, and really comfortable vehicle and well laid out. So I have the seat all the way back and all the way down, just to give you an idea. I'm 6 feet tall, just to give you an idea of the possible leg room here. I could put my legs completely straight out, and this would probably be a little bit too far back for me to drive. I really like the footrest here. It's big enough for my size 13 shoe, and it's wide and everything. It's a really good angle as well. So knee room, leg room is really good. It's a leather wrap steering wheel, and you see it has little grips there at the very top. It's a smooth leather. Now some leather has this type of texture in it, but this one's a smooth leather, but it's not slippery or anything. The very bottom portion has a thick part, and the thickness overall is really good, and it's slightly soft to the touch, but not super soft. Okay, so it does have the paddle shifters on the back, and they're mounted on the back of the steering wheel right there. And here on the right side is your cruise control and your HUD button. You remember before I was cycling through different options on the HUD, this is the button I was pushing. Now the adaptive cruise control, you turn the main on right here, which turns on your adaptive cruise control, your lane keeping assist, and everything here. So once you turn that on, you'll have an indicator up here. You can, of course, set and resume just like a regular cruise control, but you can also set the distance between you and the vehicle in front of you by pushing that button there. And it cycles through different bars there, representing the distance. And the lane keeping assist, you can turn that on or off independently of the rest of the system here. On the left side, you have your Bluetooth control for your cell phone. You can answer, hang up. You also have a voice recognition here as well. Volume for your radio. Change through your presets on your radio here and here, or your audio track, depending on what you have going on. And then you have this button right here, which corresponds with the screen between, right here in the gauges, which we'll get to in a minute. And you also have the home button here as well for that. Windshield wiper controls are here. Turn signal is here. It also has your headlight controls. You have headlights on, automatic, parking lights, then off. And this is your fog light controls there. Okay, so looking at the gauges here, your speedometer's there on the right side, and it's pretty simple. It's a black background with a white lettering, very easy to read, and looks really nice to me. And then you see on the right side, also on the far right, fuel gauge. On the far left is your battery, how much power you have left on your battery indicator there. In the center, you have your outside temperature, your odometer, and what gear you're in. This little screen right here, it has EV at the bottom, showing that we're in electronic vehicle mode, and our safety sense is turned on. You can see the little car with the circle around it. That's what it's indicating. And you have some information here regarding your average speed and all that. And you have a gauge there. Now this is for your eco driving. So as you're driving, it's going to be either using battery power or charging the battery, depending on whether you're coasting downhill or whether you're pushing the accelerator, that kind of thing. So using these buttons here, so I'm actually going to use this scroll wheel. I'm going to push this button in. I'm going to use this home button and a back button here, depending on where I'm at. So I'm going to use these buttons to get some information here. So right now I'm going to scroll so we can see, we can change A and B, okay? So we can reset those independently. Now if I hit the home button, it goes back to this main menu. I can scroll now and it gives me more different options, main options here. So navigation, traffic signs, driver support, driver attention, maintenance, all this stuff is right here to access. So the power and charge, and then your eco drive, power flow. Let's go ahead and push that so we can see what that looks like. So now it's actually showing where the power is coming from, whether it's coming from the engine, the battery, and it has the wheels there. So we're not moving. But if I put it in reverse and I move slightly, now you see the battery is pushing power to the wheels. Now I'm stopped, it's no longer doing that. Now if the engine was running, it would be adding power to the wheels, but also to recharging the battery as well. So that's what the power flow does. So let's go ahead and push the home button and go down here, range and fuel. You can see it's all that. Fuel economy, let's make that selection so you can see what's going on there. Has like little bars representing speed and time. Audio, you can see just what your radio is doing. See if there's caller ID will show up here. navigation. So you have, right now it's just showing your compass, but if you had a destination set, you'd actually get some information here as well. So you can see traffic signs, and nothing's showing up because I'm not on a major road. Driver support, so this will be your lane keeping assist and different safety features here. Driver attention, this is pretty interesting. It's going to let you know, it kind of monitors the steering wheel and everything, and as you're driving, if you seem like you're swerving around or just not driving normally, then you might want to stop and take a break, and it kind of gives you a little indicator here. I'm not sure how well that works, but it sure is interesting. You can go in and check out your maintenance, like how long before you have to change the oil, that kind of thing. But anyway, that's a kind of a quick rundown of the different options that you can have here in the middle screen. Thought that was pretty neat. Instead of a physical gauge, an actual screen that you can control just gives you so much more than a fixed gauge. But they do have this fixed gauge for the speedometer anyway. So if you need to change to kilometers per hour, the scroll wheel, you press and hold it, and it changes. It actually just adds a little digital speedometer here, but you notice it's just kilometers per hour. So you can't add a digital speedometer for miles per hour. You just have that only to compensate for if you need kilometers per hour. So press and hold it again, and it goes away. All right, so the touchscreen kind of pops up. It looks like a tablet just laying up here on the dash. The reason why is they can contour the dash separate from the screen, so that way the screen can be at a higher position without having the dash so up high as well. So it gives you better visibility, theoretically anyway. Okay, so checking it out, it has nice colors and clarity of the screen. I'm seeing a little bit of a flicker on the camera. That's not actually, it has something to do with my camera and not the actual screen. It doesn't, you don't see that in person. But you have this home button. This is the home screen in which it takes you to, and then you have your main choices here. You do have navigation. You also have the ability to have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, set up different phones, AM, FM, your power flow. Just like on the little screen, you have that right here as well. So right now the engine's running and it's powering and charging the battery. Check out the navigation. The pinch zoom, which is pretty neat. You can also have messaging. So once you pair your phone, of course, you have access to returning messages, a text message using your voice, the voice recognition system, which is a safe way of doing it. I really like this clock right here. So you can change this background to whatever you want. Ways of doing that, let's say you take a picture with your cell phone. You can use the near field communication, you see the little indicator right here, feature of this vehicle. So you can take your cell phone, this is how you pair it as well. You just take your cell phone and put it, if it's capable to do that, you lay it on that surface right there, and it will make sure your NFC is turned on your phone in your settings. You lay it there, it's going to pick up, and it's going to give you some options here on the screen. It's going to say, do you want to pair your phone? So if you want to pair your phone, you have to make sure you keep it on the screen and your cell phone. You're going to have prompts on both to pair it. It's really simple. Now if you want to transfer a picture, you can have that option as well, and you'll have to keep it on your phone too, so you can transfer the appropriate picture that you want to transfer. You can also do it on the USB port as well. So right here is the background screen, and you can have a picture here of whatever you want, you know, using that method. You also have the clock and the calendar here, Wednesday, April 25th, and really cool. I like to, because if sometimes the time is the essence, so you're late for work, you really need to focus on the time. It has this nice, you know, screen here without any other things distracting you. So looking at your main options here, you have your USB ports there, clock, also your NFC manager, and your Honda Link, which was an app on your cell phone as well, so you can have access to all that stuff. Okay, so down here is your climate control. Your four-way flushers are here, by the way. So you have your ventilated seat and heated seat controls. It's a 3-stage, high, medium, and low for both. Same thing for your passenger on that side. And then you have your temperature for your driver and your passenger, fan speed, where you want the air to blow, front and rear defrosters, and when you put on your rear defroster, it would also turn on your heated side mirrors as well. Now you can sync both of them, your driver and passenger, by pushing that button. To unsync it, you can push the button, or you can start adjusting the passenger separately and it'll unsync it. Under here is a 12-volt power supply as well as a USB port. Now this is where, if you want the Android Auto or Apple CarPlay feature to display on the screen, you will have to plug it in to this USB port, and you can lay your phone in here. Now it also has a wireless charger, so if your cell phone is wireless charger capable, as you lay it in this compartment, it will charge, so that's nice. So it'll charge wirelessly while you're also accessing the features that you want to access. And it's big enough, it goes in there quite a ways, so it's big enough to where you can put your cell phone in there, plug it in, and close this up. So that way it's, you know, the phone itself won't distract you and it's out of the way. Here's some cup holders. It's open in the center all the way to the bottom, so you can utilize this space for more than just cups, or you can have the handles go in there. Okay, so here's your shifter. It's basically a push button system. This is your park, reverse. You pull this back and that'll put it in reverse. A couple things will happen when you put it in reverse. The backup camera will pop up here. The side mirrors will tilt down if you have that setting enabled. Also, your parking sensors will be enabled. Also, your rear cross traffic alert will be enabled. So you can turn the rear cross traffic alert on or off right here. You have different views for your backup camera. So you have this really super wide, more linear, and then a top-down view. Uses the same camera, it just changes the distortion because it's a really wide angle lens. There's the neutral button, so this will put the car in neutral, and then you have your drive. So when you're finished driving, you stop and you push the park button. It'll put it in park. You have a sport mode, which emphasizes less fuel economy, more power and torque. And then you have eco, which is basically the opposite, less power and torque and more about the fuel economy. You also have an EV mode. This will basically just turn off the engine and you'll run off of battery. Now, you will have to have a significant amount of battery because it will not last very long to use this feature. You will need to use your engine to power the vehicle most of the time. You have an electronic parking brake here. You just pull it up to engage it. It has a little light letting you know it's turned on. To release it, you just put your foot on the brake, hold it, and push this down. It also has a brake hold feature. So if this is turned on, this will basically stop the vehicle from rolling when you're at a stop sign or whatever. It actually holds the brake for you while you're in drive and you're just sitting at a stop sign or stoplight for an extended period of time or stuck in traffic. Basically holds the brake until you push the accelerator again. So that's what the brake hold feature does. Soft to the touch armrest. It's not super soft, but it does give a little bit. And this lifts up. There's a little tray that you can slide around. It is removable, and it's a rubber lined type tray, so whatever you put in there, it's not going to slide around too easy. And there's a storage compartment in here. You also have a 12-volt power supply and the second USB port. You can also use this for Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. Has a rubber liner at the very bottom that you can take out, clean, and put back in as well. The rearview mirror is auto dimming, and it's actually auto dimming right now because I have the shade over the light sensor. And there's the, you can turn that feature on or off right here. HomeLink garage door opener controls are on the bottom. You have some tap lights here. You can turn on the lights with the door by putting it right in that spot, or you can have that feature off. This is for your sunroof, which we'll get to in just a minute. You also have the Honda Link and the roadside assistance buttons right up here in case you need roadside assistance, and then a place to put your shades, and it has a kind of like a foam background back here to keep them from rattling around and getting scratched. The visors have a mirror and one light. They also extend out. Okay, so looking at the sunroof here, it has a shade that covers 100% of the light. Open it up to get some sun in. We can tilt it up, close it, or we can slide it back. As far back as it goes. Okay, so looking at the visibility, alright, so you can see it has little windows on the back pillars to give you a little bit extra visibility there, and the headrests are getting away a little bit, but overall not too bad. Every vehicle is different. It's just a matter of getting used to it. And of course it does have a lot of safety features to help out with, you know, blind spots and backing up and all that, changing lanes. Alright, so there you have it, 2018 Honda Accord Hybrid in the touring trim level at East Coast Honda. Thank you for watching, and thank you to East Coast for allowing me to show off an awesome vehicle, and I'll see you guys next time.